This is 10 at 10 on ABC 5. Your first complete forecast is minutes away.
Stalemate at the State House. Will a public hearing be what jumpstarts lawmakers to action on the budget? Good evening, everyone. Thanks for staying up late with us tonight. I'm Amanda Krenz.
And I'm Rachel Pierce.
Iowa Democrats and Republicans have been working overtime for more than a month now and still can't come up with a budget.
Tonight, the voters took over the debate floor to offer their own ideas. ABC 5's Joe Augustine has tonight's top story from the State House.
Tomorrow, Republicans will try and likely pass their 600-page budget bill, a bill Democrats are dubbing the Frankenstein bill because of its massive size. But before they opened debate, the public finally got their chance to take the mic. The public debate on the state budget seemed a lot like the debate on collective bargaining held in the same room just a few months ago. The gallery might not have looked as packed, but the rhetoric sounded the same.
It almost makes me sick.
Some blasted Republicans for trying to ram through a budget that would cut money from education while awarding tax cuts to corporations.
It is impossible to address these concerns forced into an omnibus bill of 600 pages with little notice.
Others told Democrats they can't keep shelling out of their own pockets to expand school programs and state jobs.
The pockets are empty.
And some won't be happy no matter who passes the budget.
I'm not here to ask anybody for more money. I think the budget that's being put forward is already too big.
Outside the debate, state workers and union supporters rallied against the bill with their Democratic leaders. But some also made it clear that no matter what happens with the budget, there will be no winners when the session finally ends.
To me, the whole thing was kind of a farce this year.
And the so-called farce, as that worker called it, could very well continue because just like the collective bargaining bill that passed through the House earlier this year, this bill is expected to be dead on arrival in the Democratic-controlled Senate. Reporting in Des Moines, I'm Joe Augustine, 10 at 10, late edition.
2 people were stabbed inside a Des Moines restaurant tonight. It happened at the Jasmine Bowl on Indianola Avenue just before 9 o'clock. Police say a woman was stabbed in the lobby and a man was also stabbed inside more than once. Both have non-life-threatening injuries and were taken to the hospital. There are 2 suspects, a man and a woman. The man was arrested right outside the restaurant. The woman later turned herself in to police.
We learned today what exactly happened to a woman before police say her husband took off with their 2-year-old son. She was stabbed to death. The Iowa Division of Criminal Investigation still hasn't officially charged Thomas Peterson with his wife's death at their home in Greene on Saturday night. Right now, he's facing charges in South Dakota, which is where police caught up with him, driving with his 2-year-old son after an Amber Alert was issued. South Dakota authorities charged Peterson with 2 counts of attempted murder for ramming the police car before he was captured. He made his initial appearance in court today, where the county attorney called him a flight risk and denied bond.
The arrest of an elementary school principal for child porn sent shockwaves through the district. Robert Burke worked at Sageville Elementary in Dubuque. He's accused of setting up a hidden camera in the boys' bathroom. He was fired by the district and has now declined to challenge his detention, which means he will stay in jail until his trial. The superintendent sent letters to all the parents in the district, pledging to make counselors available Wednesday and Thursday if they need help explaining the arrest to their children.
The new Des Moines speed cameras shouldn't catch you off guard. You can find out exactly where they're going to be. Each Friday on its Facebook page, the Des Moines Police Department will post where the mobile camera will be for the next week. Tomorrow, it's the 1500 block of East Euclid, and there will always be a permanent camera set up on I-235. Last Friday, Des Moines turned on the red light cameras at 5 different intersections. The first 30 days, you'll just get a warning. After that, you'll get a ticket.
It wasn't the high-tech equipment or trained crews from Marshall County that were able to find a missing swimmer's body. It was a passerby. People on a nearby sandbar saw the 27-year-old man go under Sunday. Since then, authorities have used dive teams, sonar equipment, and cadaver dogs to try and find him. They made the decision yesterday evening to stop looking. But then late this evening, somebody spotted a body in the water, and they've identified it as the swimmer.
Some boaters on a river near the metro have had a bit of a shock since the weather's warmed up, seeing naked sunbathers. And right now, it's perfectly legal for them to be nude along the banks of the river. ABC 5's Jessica Daly joins us live tonight to explain. Jessica.
Amanda, over the past decade, people have complained about nudity on the Raccoon River in Dallas County, but being naked in public could soon be against the law.
It's a quiet Tuesday evening on the Raccoon River between Adel and Van Meter, but it's not always that way.
People have complained where they've been down the river and come around the bend, and there's been a lot of individuals out there standing in the nude.
And they aren't breaking the law. Dallas County Sheriff Chad Leonard says they haven't received any complaints this year, but are being proactive by asking the Board of Supervisors to consider an ordinance banning nudity. He believes a ban would prevent future problems.
People have come out of their house in the morning and somebody's been passed out naked in their yard. Having a public nudity ordinance would give us a tool to use when we encounter situations like that.
One of those incidents stemmed from a big float trip down the river. Other complaints have been about this private retreat near one of the boat ramps. The owner allows people to stay with a clothing optional motto.
If you want to run around naked, I guess you should run around naked. If they don't like to look at you, they can shut their eyes.
Not everyone will agree on this, but it's up to the board to make the final call.
Now, the state does have an indecent exposure law. It's illegal when people are naked for the purpose of getting aroused. If a nudity ban does pass in Dallas County, it would most likely be a simple misdemeanor if broken. Reporting live, Jessica Daly, 10 at 10, late edition.
From the ground, what you see is a hurried rush to stack sandbags, but from the air, it's clear what the panic is all about. Here's an aerial view of Dakota Dunes, South Dakota, just across the Missouri River from Sioux City. People who live in this area have already been asked to evacuate because construction on a second levee would block access in and out. Major flooding expected along the Missouri River is due to a record outflow of water from a dam upstream. In South Sioux City, Iowa, it's a race against time to save that town from flooding. Folks there have completed their first levee and will soon begin working on a light form wall for extra security from the Missouri River. The city administrator says the first levee and earthen berm is actually ahead of schedule, and now work can begin on a second barrier.
Begin tomorrow in terms of constructing the second levee, which will be a backup levee. If anything happens to the first one, we have a second levee that will protect the whole west side of our community.
The river is expected to crest in this area sometime next week.
Farther downstream, people in Missouri Valley are scrambling to protect themselves from the flood. They're filling thousands of sandbags. They need 160,000 of them to protect the city. The hundreds of volunteers that came to help say it's times like these that bring the community closer together.
And when it gets really tough, they're all here, and that shows that we are a community united and that we really love where we live and we love the people in it.
State transportation authorities say Interstate 29 in western Iowa is in the path of the rising Missouri River, and parts could be closed within days. A section of Interstate 680 in Council Bluffs is also at risk. And Amtrak's California Zephyr service will also be suspended between Denver and Chicago due to the flooding in the Omaha area. And in the very southwest tip of Iowa, crews are quickly trying to fix a failing levee near Hamburg. People are also trying to get a secondary levee in place there, too. If these efforts fail, the town could be under 8 feet of water for months.
Des Moines' Birdland levee shouldn't be in danger of failing anytime soon, thanks to a much-needed upgrade that's almost complete. Work on the levee started last October. Since then, crews have added both height and width to the levee, adding new rock, dirt, and filler to repair damage done during previous floods.
This has been completely rebuilt, meaning the old levee's been pulled out, then put back with higher construction standards and actually a higher freeboard or higher level of protection. So it's built better and there's more of it.
The Birdland neighborhood has flooded twice since 1993. The construction will be done later this summer.
Chief Meteorologist Brett Edwards is in the Weather Center now, where you'll always get your 7-day forecast in the first 10 minutes.
That's right. And the heat wave continued today. We're talking all over the Midwest, coming out of really the desert Southwest, out of Texas and Oklahoma. Temperatures even in Detroit hitting 95 degrees. Well, a closer look showing Minneapolis at 103 degrees. That shattered an old record that was only 95. We got to 94 here in Des Moines. And really a lot of areas in central Iowa in the mid to upper 90s out there, and a couple of hundreds again out to the west out here in Carroll and in Denison. So a lot of heat to be had had out there. Tomorrow will start to take the edge off it. Still going to be a warm day tomorrow, but it's not going to be as hot. Here's the way it looks outside now. We are looking at clear sky, 85 degrees. The winds are still south at 14. That means it's going to be a mild night and a muggy night. The dew point is at 67 right now. The rest of the numbers, there is some hope. You can see it up here. Temperatures are cooling down into the 70s as a cooler air mass starts to work in from the northwest. Temperatures are in the mid-80s in central Iowa. You can see the winds are generally out of the south here. They've gone calm in Sioux City, and eventually they'll pick up out of the northwest as a front pushes on in. And by the time we get to 6 o'clock or so, around dinner time, we're going to see that front down in this area, right through southeastern Iowa. And there'll be showers and thunderstorms trying to develop along that front as we go through, especially the latter part of the day. And then the northeast wind kicks in, and that means cooler weather for your Thursday and Friday. So we're going to start the day tomorrow pretty much like we started it today, around 74 degrees, very muggy out there. Temperatures could hit 90 in Des Moines. It'll be pretty close. We'll be in the upper 80s, lower 90s, and then that cooler air starting to come into northwestern Iowa. You can really see it on the big map here, 50s, 60s, and 70s up here to the northwest. Now, we're not going to get that cool, but 70s sounds pretty good right now. It'll be a break from the heat, that's for sure. The heat continues to push east, though, the whole eastern U.S. under that heat for tomorrow. Well, the jet stream, of course, diving on down, then going way up over like this, and we've got an area of low pressure. It's spinning right here. This is going to try to go over the jet stream, but as it does so, it's going to drag this cold front down and through our area. So that's what's going to help to knock this jet stream down a little bit, kind of put it in its place in the next couple of days, because this is a little too hot, a little too early for this time of for this kind of heat. So our Wednesday morning shower activity could be here just to our east. The better chances come later in the day as that front comes in. We'll have a chance of showers and thunderstorms here anytime after about 3 o'clock into the evening hours, showers and thunderstorms, especially in southern eastern Iowa. And then throughout the next couple of days, Thursday into Friday, we'll have chances out there probably until about Friday afternoon. 74 degrees with a warm and humid night. Thunder showers will be possible late tonight, but it looks like most of the activity will wait till tomorrow. High near 89 degrees, partly sunny sky, so not quite as hot tomorrow. And then check out what happens after that. 73 on Thursday, 75 on Friday. Most of that rain may be done hopefully by the afternoon on Friday, but it does look like the weekend is going to be a-okay. Temperatures on the mild side with no rain either Saturday or Sunday. I think the rain will hold off until Sunday night and then kick back in for Monday and Tuesday. That's a quick look at your 7-day forecast. I'll take another look at it coming up later on 10 at 10.
Next on 10 at 10, late edition, fresh off a campaign announcement, this politician made Iowa his first stop. We'll take a look at how the Republican candidates are stacking up to the president. It's a chilling tribute. The gun that a slain Iowa deputy could have been carrying, now forever engraved as a memory.
I'll carry that weapon as long as I'm here.
That story's coming up. Plus, 2 weeks ago, these kittens were left for dead in a dumpster. Now they're ready for a new home.
Today's top stories and your first complete forecast in the first 10 minutes. You're watching 10 at 10 on ABC 5.
Across America with Mega Jackpot.